Welcome back to another episode of Quick Picks with the Geek. I am your host, Bro Power the Geek. Alright, next up, we've got Chris, the Action Man Curtis, taking on Myktybek Orolbai. And this fight is basically the MMA version of what happens when a brick wall meets a bulldozer. So yeah, stylistically, this one's pretty interesting. Let's break it down. Chris, the Action Man Curtis, coming in as a plus 190 underdog with a record of 32-12. Curtis is one of those fighters who feels like he's been fighting since the Roman Empire. 32 wins, 40-plus fights, and the man still shows up ready to throw hands like someone just insulted his family at a barbecue. His entire game revolves around slick boxing and elite takedown defense. Curtis fights out of that tight shell, constantly looking to counter. His lead hook to the body is nasty, his combinations are clean, and when opponents get a little too comfortable in the pocket, that's usually when he starts landing bombs. And the big thing with Curtis, he's incredibly hard to take down. An 82% takedown defense is no joke, especially in a division full of wrestlers. Guys like Jack Hermanson and Rodolfo Vieira tried to drag him into grappling matches and basically ended up stuck kickboxing instead. Which is exactly what Curtis wants, because if you're standing in front of him trading punches, he's extremely dangerous. He's got almost 6 significant strikes landed per minute, and his boxing is sharp enough to punish people who get careless. But Curtis also has a couple of habits that make fights closer than they probably need to be. For one, he sometimes starts slow. He'll spend the first round downloading information like he's installing a software update, and by the time he really starts opening up, the judges might already have the first round in the other guy's column. And then there's the Curtis personality factor. He talks during fights, he argues with referees. Sometimes he literally starts having conversations mid-round. It's entertaining, but it also occasionally leads to him losing focus for a moment. Still, if Curtis can keep this fight standing, he absolutely has the tools to make it a long night. Myktybek Orolbai, coming in as a minus 225 favorite with a record of 15-2. If Curtis is the guy who wants to box, Orolbai is the guy who shows up saying, "Cool story, now get on the ground." Orolbai is one of those fighters whose entire game revolves around relentless wrestling pressure. And when I say relentless, I mean relentless. He averages over 5 takedowns per 15 minutes, and he doesn't just shoot once and give up. He chains attempts together over and over until eventually you end up on your back wondering how you got there. And once he gets on top, good luck. This guy is a nightmare to escape from. Heavy hips, strong hand fighting, constant mat returns. It's that suffocating smother style where opponents spend entire rounds trying to stand up and never quite getting there. His control time numbers are ridiculous too. Over 6 minutes of control per fight, which basically means once he gets you down, half the round is already gone. And he's not just a grinder either. He's got finishing ability. Knockouts, submissions, ground and pound. An 87% finish rate is pretty scary for someone who already dominates positionally. But his striking game still has some rough edges. He's not a high-volume striker. Most of his punches exist just to set up wrestling entries, and technically skilled counter-strikers can sometimes catch him reaching or overextending, which is exactly the kind of thing Curtis specializes in. So while Orolbai wants to wrestle, the longer he stays on the feet, the more chances Curtis has to land something clean. So, who wins? If Curtis wins this fight, it probably means he successfully stuffed enough takedowns to keep things standing. And if that happens, the fight becomes a boxing match, which is exactly where Curtis is most comfortable. His counter-punching, body work, and experience could slowly start picking Orolbai apart over 3 rounds. But if Orolbai wins, it likely comes from doing what he does best, turning this into a grinding wrestling battle. Repeated takedown attempts, clinch pressure, and long stretches of control could neutralize Curtis's boxing and make the fight look more like a wrestling clinic than a striking match. This one really comes down to a simple question. Can Curtis keep the fight standing long enough to make his boxing matter? Because if Orolbai starts landing takedowns early, it could be a very long 15 minutes. Official pick. I'm rolling with Myktybek Orolbai. Curtis's takedown defense is elite. And if anyone can frustrate a wrestler, it's him. But Orolbai's pressure, strength, and chain wrestling are relentless, and over the course of 3 rounds, it feels like he's eventually going to start getting the fight to the mat. Once that happens, his top control and grinding style could slowly take over the fight. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat when the next video drops. And don't be shy. Leave a comment below and let me know who you got winning this fight. Let's see who really has the crystal ball around here. Until next time.